Hi, my name is Jo Bernhard, and believe it or not, we are selling this beast of an expedition truck. It served us well for 6 years. We drove a lot around the world with it, mostly Africa, Northwest Africa, and we did 3 years of South America and 1 year of North America, and now we're planning to sell it. So as you can see, I'm on a crutch. I broke my leg a few weeks ago, so they screwed it up with some screws, and now I'm recovering and thought it's a more nice time to make this video about our car and explain you more what is around it and what is inside the car. It's a DAF. It's a very famous brand. It's built in the Netherlands, but it is an international company. You see them quite a lot in the rallies, also in the Let's Dakar. Look at it. You see a lot of DAFs. They're also produced in Brazil for the local market there. So, and a lot of parts, what you find on the DAF is universal. So the gearbox you find on the Scania, Volvo. So with trucks it's like that you have a lot of universal parts. The diesel engine is a 9.6 liter diesel, 6-cylinder in line, and it has a turbo intercooler with 240 horsepower. The mirror where I grab now my hand, it's also heated, very nice. On the roof there is a spare tire with outer rim. On the back later on we see also a tire with a rim. The tires are 20-inch tires, very wide, 40 centimeters, so a 395, and we also have double shocks. On every wheel we have double shocks. There is also a tire pressure monitoring system on every tire, and you can on every side there is a hose what we can connect to the tire for deflating or inflating. What you see here is all the air. The European cars have a lot of air, so the clutch, the brakes, to connect the 4x4, everything goes actually on air. This is the diesel fuel tank. We got two tanks what you can switch on in the car electronically, left, right. They are each 350 liters, so you got 700 liters of diesel fuel, which brings you at 2,500 kilometers. The next one is the generator. There is a 3000 watt generator, 220 volt. We never use it. When we have big solar panels, we have 4 huge solar panels on the roof, what gives us plenty of power to charge the batteries. So we never hooked up. I don't think we hooked up for the last 3 years, and we also 220, and most of the countries from the last couple of years have 110. So, but we have no issue with it whatsoever. But when it's very warm, you want to run the airco some longer, yeah, you can do that. This is the front. So as you can see, it's a very modern car. It has about, it's completely suspension. The cabin is on 4 springs and shocks. So in this car we have seats where are air suspension. We never use it. Yeah. So, and this is the inside of the cabin: radio, rear view camera, tire pressure monitoring system, and it gives you also the alarm. On the roof there is an air conditioning what runs actually on water, what is very fine when you park the car for a longer time. It's all very modern. The seats are covered with leather. The windows are blindfolded for the sun. We have 2 seats, and in the middle is also a smaller seat. And then on the dashboard in the middle you find a tough book what we use for navigation and also for MP3s on the radio. This is the dashboard. You see all the switches there. So the switches for the 4x4, but also and high and low, and also for the spare differential on the rear axle. There is also PTO for the winch on the rear. The car has done now 370,000 kilometers, but it can do easily 1 million kilometers before you have to the first overhaul. So that's normally for a truck like this. We only did like 140,000 in 6 years, so you can add a lot of kilometers before you run into real problems and you have to overhaul the engine. It has a 9-gear manual gearbox, 9-speed. It's a ZF gearbox, what you also find on a lot of trucks. This is an extra seat, what I said. You can flap it over. It's not a very comfortable seat, but for short drive for children it should be fine. And this is the escape hatch to the inside of the truck. This is the first hatch, what you see on the left hand side of the car. Inside there is a marine boiler for heating up the water. It goes by the water from the engine, what heats up 30 liters of water. We can also do it by the solar panels. It's electrically, and then you can heat it up. There is also an outside shower, yeah, and there is a compressor for the deep freezer, and on the right is also an air conditioning unit, a Dometic underfloor air conditioning unit for the inside, for the living. So then we go to the second hatch. In the second hatch we have our water. This is 20 meters of water hose, what you can hook up. There is also a filter here, for a big filter, where it goes in for first for sand of other stuff, and you can see what you're filling up. Then it goes to the tank, what is 500 liters inside. Inside the tank there is also some ceramics balls with silver, and afterwards it goes into the second filter with carbon. On the left there are 2 starter batteries. In the front there is a charger to charge the batteries from the engine. It's a special computer charger from the light machine to the batteries. It's a very well-known brand what they use in boats, and especially sailing boats, who need a lot of power into the battery when they don't run so very long. It's a Stirling charger. And there is also the heater. It's a Webasto heater from 5000. And it also heats the insides of all the hatches. So it's easy to have access to all those things. There is the water filling point, what goes into the car where you have the big water tank. This hatch has 2 gas bottles. It's American gas bottles at the moment, and we only use it for cooking and the gas oven in the car. The rest is everything. So we run 1 small gas bottle. For us it's about 4 months. This is the big hatch from the garage, and there's a lot of space. It's more than a meter high, 140 wide, and 2.5 meters deep. Is a ladder. I use my bike in it, my paragliding stuff, my kite surf stuff. Yeah, and on the right hand side is some extra electronics, like also the transformer for 424 to 220 volt, and that's even 1750 watts. Yeah, there is a lot of safety switches there, down there. So there is some of the electronic stuff there. And this is the back of the truck. We got a motorbike on the back. It's a Yamaha 600, where it goes up and down with an electronic winch. So you have to disconnect some parts, but it is very stable connected to the car, and it never fell off in all those years. Only one time when it broke my cable, but we were not driving on it, unluckily at that moment. And behind the motorbike there is another spare tire, where it also has a rim. We got 2 sand blades. In the middle there is an hydraulic winch of 7,500 kilos, and left and right you see 2 stainless steel boxes. On the left hand side there are 4 things to store diesel fuel or whatever, and on the right hand side there is one, but also has an outside kitchen. So that's very convenient as well. If you want to do some grilling or to do some fish, you can do that outside. Yeah. So now we go. Yeah, that's the other box. I did the English language later on, so it's not so good synchronized when I did the Dutch one first. So this is the right hand side. We have padlocks on all doors and hatches, so we have 10 of them with the same key. So if the people want to break into your car, they see the big lock on the outside, they know it doesn't matter if I smash down the window when I cannot go inside anyway. Yeah. And then also on this tire you can inflate. Then the next one, yeah, is the pump to lift the cabin. That's what I'm coming now. Yeah, that's the pump to lift the cabin. The cabin goes all the way to the front and you can walk around the engine if you want. The next one what you see is the exhaust. Yeah. Then we got a big valve there with a system on the American hose system for the black water tank, what is inside the car. It's 150 liters inside the car. The next one is the grey water tank. It's about 200 liters, also with the American system to go to the dumping point. And then this is the stair. The next one, the stair is a very nice stair. You can put it on, you lift it up and then you squeeze it under the car. It slides in under the car, and so you don't have any problems with stairs where sometimes you see hanging on the back, and that's always a pain to get them out. This is the door into the cabin. Yeah, it's very sturdy. It has a 3-point system to close, one on the bottom, one in the middle and one on the top. So it's very strong stuff, everything. Yeah. We also have a mosquito netting which you can close for the bugs. So that's the second. That's an awning. The old awning was just a piece of material, but now we have an awning, and this works way more easier than the old system where you have to put up everything and build everything together. So this one is very nice. So now we go to the big hatch. That's the other side. And there you can see also a lot of storage space when it goes all the way from left to right from the car. So we put our chairs in there, we have a tent, and we also have 2 air jacks. They're big air jacks. They can push 60 metric tons, those things, and they go with air pressure. There is all the valves and hoses are there. So that's a very convenient when you're stuck in the mud of the sand and your jack is not going up but down in the sand. Those big things can lift easier the car. Yeah. Also, on the right hand side we have 4 big batteries. Yeah. They are 170 amp each, and they are AGM batteries. This is the inside of the car, so welcome to our palace. It's a big living room. For an Expedition trucks, they mostly have small boxes on it, but this is quite a big box. It's 6 meters long, 2.5 meters wide, and also the height is a good 2 meters. So I'm even now on a higher platform and I still have room on top of my head. So on the right hand side where you see the curtain, there is the escape hatch to the front. It's easy to access. My wife sometimes forgets a closet, so she has to go back while I'm driving. She crawls through it. She's very good at it. Yeah. Even when she has to pee sometimes and I don't want to stop, she has to go through the hatch. This is a lot of storage space. Yeah, we lived in the car, so we need a lot of storage space. On the right hand side here there was a washing machine, but unluckily it died in Colombia and we have to throw it away there. Yeah. And this is the deep freezer. It's a 135-liter deep freezer, runs on the solar panels with a compressor fridge or compressor. And then we also have this ones. It has a photocopier in it, always handy to make copies on the borders. This is the toilet shower. Yeah, it's a nice sturdy toilet, and the whole area is covered with polyester, and we shower in it every other day, and it runs of course in the grey water tank. So it's a good space, and it's big enough, and you can turn your you know what in it. This is the sitting area. Yeah, it's a big table. The table doesn't go down. Normally you can slip here, but we didn't make it like that. This is a slide out closet where we put a lot of stuff for the kitchen. And next, under the seats, are also some more cupboards. Very sturdy. Also the hatches, and everything is very sturdy and easy to access, of course. And then we have more cupboards here from the kitchen where you can put food or pots and pans and everything. Yeah. Then we have on the left and the right are the windows. They are side windows. Also on top there is a side hatch which you can open. Yeah. And they also have blinds and mosquito netting in it. And they also have special bars in it. This is the other side. This is the kitchen area. It's a big stove with 5 burners in it. Runs on propane. Yeah. And on top more storage, a microwave, runs on 220, some lights, and one extractor. So a lot of storage space under the kitchen. Then we have the oven. It's a gas oven. Yeah. Oh, it's locked. Now I can open it. And under it is the fridge, 130-liter fridge with a small deep freezer in it as well. Runs of course on solar panel, on the solar power. On the small stair to go into the sleeping area, there you can store of course your shoes under it. The bed is quite big, it's 2 meters by 140. We also have a television which you can turn to the living area, or you can turn it and you can look from out the bed, from out your bed. This area is all the electronics, sockets for 220, 5 volt, 12 volt, and a whole panel with switches for water pumps, heaters, deep freezer, coolers, everything you want. Yeah. And then also we have that for the water. You can see how much water there is still in the tank, what's laying under the seat area. That is for the heater, yeah. And that one is a monitoring for charging and discharging batteries, how many volts in it. It tells you everything. Yeah. And then we have also a radio, and of course that one is for the air conditioning. And on the back, yeah, there is another charger for the solar panels, and you see all the electric connectors, so it's very easy to access, and if you have to work on it. There's another closet, yeah, where the jackets are, and on that side there is another big closet where we have the towels. So that's about it on the inside of the car. So I hope you could understand me a little bit. I did my best. Sorry that I don't know all the words, but if this truck is something for you, just give us a mail or whatever if you have more questions.